Hello, this is a Jayleshark and Friends
and Russell
podcast. And today's episode, it's all about Steveology.
It's over.
And Russell. And Russell.
So are you going to introduce, because this is your guest. You arranged this one, yes.
Are you not going to do your good morning intro? So hello to everyone.
Hello everybody.
Glad we got that done. So welcome, Steve. The Colonel is with us today on the show. Nice to have you here.
You've gone very radio then all of a sudden.
Really?
You went really interview radio, Steve radio,
Fantastic.
radio, Fab FM kind of thing.
Well, that hurts.
Listen to this. Guess what this is?
I'm guessing it's sweets.
Steve, who is our interviewee today, bought sweets.
Which is awfully kind.
Cola bottles.
Which makes me think, if you think about it, Anna bought us bugger all. She's not coming back.
No, but Anna was slightly better looking than Steve. No offence, Steve. You're a handsome young man.
Anna had a story to tell as well. I don't even know that you're scraping at the bottom of the barrel here.
Here's my question then.
That's what instead of a story, I bought sweets.
I'll take sweets.
I'll take sweets.
My question is are you more of a cola bottle fan with or without the sugar coating?
Oh, it's with the sugar all day long. Surely.
Really, Steve?
There's no point without the sugar, is there?
Yeah.
Really? On all jelly sweets or just specifically cola bottles?
It's not. It doesn't keep me awake at night. To be honest with you, it's not a thing.
Oh, it's like pulling teeth with Steve.
It's
This is your guest. You sort it out. I can't do any more.
I'm supposed to.
I'm done.
I'm supposed to agree with everything, aren't I? I'm not. I can't say.
No, be controversial.
But you've already introduced me because on podcast number 1, I was bald, miserable Steve. And then
people do listen.
And then you started talking, and then there was a big moo. It all got edited out, and then the original thing that you were gonna say, it all sounded very awkward, and then let's just move on. So I don't know what you were going to say about me, but what you were going to say about me was worse than bald, miserable Steve, because that stayed in. It's a bad reflection on me, but it's an even worse reflection on you in terms of like your. This is who you want to have on your podcast.
So are you happy to be here?
Over the moon.
Yeah. Brilliant. I think we should start off then discussing, because we had a little chat.
Can I just make note of let me just retort that.
Jay will do this a lot.
Is that the right word?
Retort.
Okay. Is it retort or retort? Retort.
Yeah.
Retalk is just saying it again.
First of all, Steve is a very smart young man, so he's going to correct me on everything I think today, which is fine because he's smarter than me. Looks like you got a prison cup. Right? When we mentioned you bald, I think we're allowed to say that because you are.
Of course.
Miserable. I think we did say I was calling you miserable, and then Russell turned around to me and said pot kettle black.
Yeah, because you're more miserable.
I think I'm more miserable than you are.
Yeah.
I just think you have much more
On
of that
the
northern
Fitzpatrick
monotone voice.
Sure.
Whereas I have that very up and down Essex twang that makes me sound more cheerful. But actually, on a miserable scale, I think we all discussed it, and I'm
Rock bottom.
So I'm kind of like externally miserable and you're internally miserable.
That's not a bad way to put it, yeah.
Okay.
That sums it up. Thanks very much for tuning into this week's podcast. That was brilliant. The question I had, because we had a little chat about this the other day, about what this was going to entail and what we would talk about. And the first thing that you said was that you weren't overly comfortable, I think it's a safe word to use, about doing like a radio/podcast show. So here we are.
Yeah, you're making me very uncomfortable.
Good. That's kind of the plan.
I'll bring it back to that non-uncomfortable. Safe word. Have you got one? Do you and M have a safe word?
Why are you looking at me? It's his interview.
Well, yeah, but you brought it up. Steve, do you have a safe word?
I don't. I don't have a safe word.
Russell, do you have a safe word?
No.
What would your safe word be if you had one?
I don't know. Would it not be a contextual thing?
I don't know what that means.
Depending on the context of, you might have a safe word for one side.
You and M are having your S&M nights, because you have your hug time, now you have your S&M nights. What's your safe word to say, M, you've gone too far?
Pineapple?
It's all right.
It's a bit of a reach.
But you need something that is not misheard.
It can't be. No, stop that, because that's part of it. the thing, obviously.
You catch on fast.
That means.
So is the point behind that question? So Steve has a safe word for this interview. So if at any stage he feels uncomfortable, he can shout, for example, pineapple, and then we will divert to something else.
That's not a bad idea.
I thought that's where you were going with it.
Okay, I'll go with it. Yeah, that's where I was going with it.
Great idea, Jay.
Thanks.
Pineapple.
just going to be saying pineapple. And going back to the last podcast, the moo sound was because that doofus over there used a very naughty swear word, which I didn't want in there.
Okay.
So that was the reason for the moo sound.
Okay.
But in the context of what we had been discussing at the time, it was actually really funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, so going back to... Why do you feel... I mean, this is just... If we were sat in a pub randomly somewhere without the microphones...
Which we have done.
Which we have on many a time, and have this general chit-chat about the general bollocks, it would be fine. So why all of a sudden, sat amongst friends again, is it more nervy, do you think?
Well, look, I mean, there's people don't like hearing the sound of their own voice recorded. It's that different... it sounds different, doesn't it?
I wanted to ask you
so
about
I don't like that. And... This is now recorded for all time. In the future,
the world is listening.
100,000 years from now, people will look back. Who was Steve Coleman? And this is going to be the only evidence that they come up with. And whatever I say now there'll be scholars. Scholars researching, finding,
right. Your assignment today,
say.
children, is to go and search Steve Coleman.
And what did he mean by the word pineapple?
Why did he say pineapple so much on that one podcast that he did? The philosophy behind it. Do you know what, Steve? We will guide you through the interview so you won't feel so overwhelmed.
I'm feeling more comfortable already.
I see the way you leant back then and kind of turned and angled towards me.
Are you enjoying the coffee? Mm-hmm. I'm desperate to know this, you see.
Yeah, lovely.
Excellent, fantastic.
Lovely. Good
my
coffee.
work here is done. I offered you one, but you want your 7-Eleven.
No, I like my 7-Eleven. We have this conversation. I like my economic coffee of 25 baht. I think it's good coffee. I like it. I get my Americano hot, and it does the job. Stephen,
yes,
you ran for 1 million miles this year. Tell us about that.
That's a little excessive.
Was that a little what? The 1 million miles, or just getting him to tell us about it?
No, the million miles bit, I think.
It was 50. 50
miles.
In the Pennines.
What's that in,
quite hilly.
What's that in kilometres?
Just about 70k. Yeah.
We walked that.
Yeah, so it's the same distance as your
relay race. Probably actually in the same time.
In the same time. You said it was 14 hours, didn't you?
16 or 17 hours.
I was 17, actually.
Yeah,
so
you were quick. I was 14. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so I did a little bit of jogging, but mostly it was walking. So it was. They call it a run. It's not. It's pretty much a walk.
Why did you do it?
To raise some money for Parkinson's UK.
Did you do it for that reason, or did you do it because you wanted to do a 50-mile...
There was a bit of both. I wanted to have a bit of a challenge, and I wanted to raise some money for my friend who just got Parkinson's. So it kind of came together.
On that note, this takes us back to last week with Anna. We were having this discussion about why do people do that? Why do they go out and run a race? But, I'm going to raise money for charity. It seemed a bit twee. That was the discussion from last week, right?
Yeah,
but this is a more specific...
No, and now I feel a bit guilty as well, because I said last week that I wasn't happy about giving money to people that go and do marathons. That was my take on it. I don't like giving money to people to do that. Whereas she explained that actually you need people like you that does that, because people aren't willing to take money out of their pocket for any other reason, or for most reasons. They're not. Oh, sorry, there's a carpet just walked underneath me.
Hello, Kitsy.
Kitsy. Oh, Kitsy. Sorry, we should say we're at Russell's studio dog house. And we got, what breed is Kitsy?
She's a carpet.
Okay, so Kitsy, can I touch Kitsy?
You probably can.
Hi, Kitsy. Oh, shit.
or not.
But
she's deaf, so just be...
She's what, sorry?
She's deaf.
All right.
So approach from the front.
So Kitsy, not Kitsy, Anna, Kitsy. There's a joke just went through my head about carpets, and I'm going to leave it. Can I totally leave that one? She explained to us that actually although I don't do it, she was saying that people like you is good to have, because there are people that will take a couple of quid out of their pocket and give it to you because you're doing something, whereas I don't like doing that. And she said it needs, in fact the word she used was, it's like you need a whole village of different people doing different things, from those who MC, those who DJ, to those like you who do your thing.
Sure. But you went from saying I don't give money to charity to saying you work for charity, you'll put your time in, which is probably doing more than just giving, £4.50, isn't it? So
is it £4.50 now? Is that the going rate?
Is that the going rate?
Sure.
Yeah.
What's that in Thai baht? $1 million.
Well, now,
or it's £1.
Now it's probably quite a lot.
Anyway. So how was it? Was it mentally draining?
Oh yeah, it was awful. I mean, it just went on and on and on. It was horrendous. And the pain afterwards. You were talking about the pain that you were in afterwards. Just for days and days and days. And my mum had just come out of hospital having a knee replacement, and I'm just in the house moaning and complaining about the agony.
She was in better shape than you were.
Yeah, Mum,
and she was still there cooking dinner and doing stuff.
She gets a cup of tea.
Hobbling away like mums do.
Yeah.
Bless mums. Mums are amazing. Dads are pretty good too, by the way.
At what point did you feel like you hit that metaphorical wall? Or did you?
What, when Mum was asking for my mum for the tea? When she took ages.
The tea hit the wall.
It just went on and on. It was like a lifetime. There was a whole, I don't know, mate. It just went on forever.
But from the running that you've done, I mean, I've felt this as well, that you get to a certain point where it is that, wow, it's kind of hit me. It's always a slog.
There was more a thing with it's never going to end. I'm going to be here for the rest of my life. It is never, ever, ever going to end. When we did that marathon, me and Russell did a marathon in Siem Reap.
Where?
A couple of years ago. Siem Reap, was
Reap.
it? Yeah, Angkor Wat.
Angkor Wat.
Oh, okay.
And Russell was puking half the way round, literally. And,
was he really?
Yeah, brilliant.
I was poorly the week before, and we went anyway because we'd booked the trip. Thought, I'd give it a crack anyway. Oh, what's the worst that could happen?
Death.
And there was a funny bit in it because we got to a junction, and there was a sign saying, if you're doing the half marathon, turn left. If you're doing the full marathon, turn right. And it basically took on this bigger loop and then came back to this point. And I remember getting to that junction thinking, I really should turn left at this point. Just call it a day.
It makes my 3 kilometre fun run a little bit kind of rubbish.
Well, 3K is 3K.
It was tough. It was tough 3K. So, Stephen, tell us more about you. We want to know everything about you. Where do you work? What do you do? Pineapple.
Well,
pineapple.
Normally, because Anna, is it Anne or Anna? Anna had a good story to tell, didn't she? I don't have a story. What normally happens in these things is you go on, when you go on Bullseye and Jim Bowen says, here's Derek and Maureen from Doncaster. Now, Maureen, you've got a story, haven't you? You met Geoff Capes once in the co-op, didn't you? Tell us all about that. And then Maureen goes, yeah, I met Geoff Capes in the co-op. And he goes, oh, and how was that? And he goes, oh, yeah, it was very good. He was very nice. He was buying a curly whirly. And and they go, oh, lovely, Maureen, thank you very much. And then they move on, and that's Maureen's story. I don't really
I'm sensing you haven't met
a story like that.
You've never met Geoff Capes then?
No.
But have you been worried about this? Because you have been racking your brains in the last
I've been thinking, what can I say? What do they want to hear?
Well, we could talk about when we first met.
When did you first meet?
We first met at down in Bang Tao.
Yep.
At a dodgy...
But this makes me sound terrible.
No, I'll bring it round.
Okay.
I'll bring it round. Don't worry.
Good,
I won't
good,
make you sound too bad. Steve was drunk as a skunk.
Yeah.
Steve may have been drinking a little bit. It was a dodgy bar in Bang Tao. Klong behind it. Mm-hmm. It was down next... You know where the Canadian dude who recently passed away...
Knock and Joe.
Knock and Joe's. Yeah, it was down by Knock and Joe's area. Anyway, so I was DJing first. Not my first gig. It was a gig that I haven't done. I hadn't been doing that many gigs. Steve was there, and it was the first. And Danio was there as well, wasn't he? Big Dan was there. And so I think I knew Dan before I knew you from the radio. I'm guessing from the radio side of things. And anyway, I started playing some songs, and Steve requested a certain
Stone Roses.
Yeah. And at that time, I'll be totally honest with you, I had no idea who the Stone Roses were.
What?
It wasn't my scene. I was never never into that scene. I mean, look, I grew up in Essex where it was club music. I mean, we were Ibiza, we were Ministry of Sound. We were proper into that kind of
pikey.
Not pikey, mate. No, awesome shit. You know what I mean? And then if it wasn't that, you were then into the the Slipmat and the Dougal, the real kind of, festival stuff.
So if we follow that through, your first take, Steve, of Jay was Well, he's a bit shit then, isn't he?
He's never heard of he's a DJ who's never heard of the Stone Roses.
That's just crap.
But Steve made it very clear to myself and to the rest of the room that I wasn't a very good DJ, and all he wanted was the Stone Roses. Yeah. And it was my first probably, hello. Oh,
that's Jax.
Jax has just come to say hello. You can probably hear Jax on the microphone. Say hello, Jax.
That heavy breathing is Jax.
Yes. You got stinky breath. Smells like your, yeah.
That won't come across in the podcast.
So that was the first time I met Steve. So Steve was, I think Steve was my first initiation of how to deal with drunk people at a gig.
I have no defence for that story at all. I was a bit of a cock.
But from then, we've become good friends, I feel. And we always do.
Out of the adversity.
Yeah. And then through that, then we've kind of, that's where it's come. So I now know who
you can tie that story up with when you were DJing at Dan's
wedding.
Yeah. One of the last songs you said, shall I play the Stone Roses? Will it go down well? And I said, it's going to go down fucking awesome, mate. And basically, it was me just jumping around on the floor.
I asked you and asked you and asked you. Yeah, because that was my last wedding gig, so I was DJing at Danny O's. Yeah, and Steve you were awesome that night. The other people that were within your group were the drunken, crazy people. I had two of them just stood next to me the whole night, and it was ridiculous. But I checked with you, and I said, Steve, this Stone Roses song, I'd never heard of it. It was like a 7-minute, or it was even longer, wasn't it? It was a real long song.
Resurrection, it's about 9 minutes.
Oh, there you go. So I was thinking, this isn't going to, and I know in my head I'm going, this isn't going to work. This is not going to, it's like playing, Bat Out of Hell at a wedding. It's the idea of it's great, but realistically, after 15 minutes of Meatloaf, people have switched off.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be the last song as well, wasn't it? Like we're going out on a high note.
Going out on a high note, and I was listening to it, and I was just thinking, and I looked at Steve, and I think Steve just came out to one point and went, I got it wrong. I was like, okay, fair enough.
At least you're honest about it. I might have messed that one up.
It was fun though. So Haribo, are we cracking open the?
I think we should. I'm desperately looking forward to one of those.
Jax is now kissing Steve at the moment, trying to get.
Well, Jax will kiss anyone for treats.
So Steve, you brought us sweets because you didn't have a very interesting story about Geoff Capes or anyone to talk about.
Correct.
And why did you choose cola bottles?
There's the Steveologist 10,000 years from now will be discussing that, but it was a subconscious.
Is that the study of Steve?
Yeah, but
that's what the show is called. Steveologist.
But it was a subconscious decision, which I'm not privy to the reasons why.
We went to see Rambo, the latest Rambo.
Oh yes,
which Jay, you quite enjoyed it. I thought it was quite good. I mean, it's it does what it says on the tin. It wasn't.
I don't know if that's how I remember it. This was last Friday. This was a week ago. Mm-hmm. I don't remember I was saying it was quite good.
Yes, you did.
I think I came out there saying.
I mean, it was a pile of shit, but we really enjoyed it.
What, are we sponsored by the Rambo movie? Have you got some sponsorship deal going on that you have to be positive about it?
Yeah, Stallone is listening. We fucking loved it.
No, I didn't love it.
No, it was...
Do you know what annoyed me? Was when the end bit when he ripped the heart out of the guy, which is the ending.
Oh, by the way, spoiler alert.
So that's ruined the film for everyone. But for me, so I wanted the bit where so basically the whole story was his, not daughter, his girl that he grew up with or whatever, he was looking after her. She got kidnapped. She got given heroin and stuff, and by a kidnapping group in Mexico, Mexican cartel. Other cartels are available. And then they all came after him, and I wanted them coming after him to be much longer. That was the bit that I was waiting for. That big, attacked by bees. That big end bit. And that lasted for about 10 minutes, and it was like
Is that really?
It was, and I was waiting for that bit to happen, and I was very disappointed. What's your take on Rambo?
Well, that's the point. Because he's not a Stallone fan.
I think I might have seen First Blood. Is that the first one?
Yes.
Like back in the day when it came out. I haven't seen any other Rambo films. I've also never seen Titanic.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Spoiler alert, it sinks.
Yeah.
And they all die.
Well, not all of them, just most of them.
So what have you never done?
Nice, I like that.
What have I never done? There's many things I've never done.
What film have you never seen?
Same with Rocky. I'm not a Stallone fan. I don't think I've ever seen a Rocky film.
Really? Wow.
I'm serious.
I mean, fair enough, but I mean, the first one was brilliant.
Star Wars, Star Trek?
Yeah.
Are you more that way then, aren't you?
Totally, yeah. Did you know that Chewbacca died this year?
Really?
Do you know how tall he was?
7'2".
Really close.
7'1".
Other way, 7'3".
7'3".
7'3".
Oh.
Yeah.
Far out.
Did he do anything else apart from Chewbacca?
I don't know anything about him other than that he was 7'3".
And he's dead.
And he's dead, yeah.
And so is it just Stallone you don't like, or is it the action film genre in general?
No, I like action films. Die Hard, great. I've stuck with
Bloodsport.
those.
What about the 80s, 90s kind of action films?
I've never even heard of Bloodsport.
You've never seen Bloodsport with Van Damme?
Oh, no, Van Damme, all that. I'm not into that at all. The Rock and all that, I'm not. No,
Well,
they
don't.
don't.
Russell's
They
got
don't
Russell.
tickle my
Yeah,
fancy.
you're going to upset Russell now because him and The Rock are best mates.
Right.
Yeah, The Rock is my man crush.
I did just see Fighting with My Family.
That's good.
That's excellent.
Okay, what did you
Yeah.
think of that?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Did you understand the story, the concept, and the whole thing around it, and not just it was her family, but the wrestling part of
Just
it?
about. I think I was like hanging on in there. Yeah. I mean, I suppose if I didn't get it, then I wouldn't know that I didn't get it. But so I'd be.
What I meant was.
Yeah, what did you mean? Because
Did you like the wrestling side? Which part of it did you like? The wrestling story or the story about her growing up?
You can do.
Well, they're intertwined.
You can with a good film. You can get away with any storyline, can't you? So, like Billy Elliot, people aren't watching.
Yeah, the
it
Kestra, did he not? Billy Elliot?
No,
That was Kez.
That was just Kez.
Oh,
Billy Elliot was the ballet dancer, wasn't he?
was it? I've
As
never
a little
seen that.
boy, he was into ballet.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What,
but
the boy
it was
do
a
ballet.
It was a
no. He should be out
It
there
was a
playing
generally
rugby.
That was part of the
accepted
story.
good film, and
So you've seen Billy Elliot, the
Despite
ballet
not
film,
having
but
a Kestel in it.
you've not seen anything. What about anything by The Rock apart from Fight My Family when he's in it for 2 minutes and he plays
I
himself?
don't know what else is he in.
Russell, go. Rock films.
Scorpion King?
Tooth Fairy.
Oh, Tooth Fairy. Tooth Fairy.
Is he in The Rock?
Pain and Gain.
Pain Game was good,
The Rock is not in The Rock.
Right.
Could be good.
which is a shame, but that was actually a good film.
WrestleMania 17. I believe he took on Hulk Hogan.
Are you
Definitely
into
haven't seen
any of the WrestleMania stuff, Steve?
No.
No, yeah, me neither. I just don't get it. I do get it. I would, if I was in the States, I would enjoy going to a show. I think it might be a bit of a laugh and a bit of a giggle, but I wouldn't sit much on TV.
Oh, I tell you what, you're asking me whether I got Fighting with My Family. No, there's a bit I didn't get. So you know at the end...
So all your
you're gonna ask the same question
I've just realised. It did leave me a bit confused.
Go on.
So the end, everything is... So they made a point in it that it's not fake, it's fixed.
Predetermined.
It's predetermined.
Yep.
Yeah.
So therefore the whole point about her winning at the end must have been predetermined.
Exactly. That was
so why
exactly
was
my question.
Why were they so triumphant? They'd
Yes.
already agreed that... and when they were having like the kind of like... They were like sussing each other out. They're like, yelling at each other, and she was freezing the whole time when they were calling her a silly little girl.
Yeah.
So why? That's just a rehearsed thing that they've practiced every move is
Okay.
they've gone through one by one. So why was she number one, why was she like looking terrified and kind of freaking out at the beginning? And number two, why was she happy that she won?
I understood
they've rehearsed every single move, just
me,
like this podcast.
But but even I understand the whole sort of freaking out bit, because even if yes, it's predetermined, but still, it was her big. This was the dream, the big thing. She's now in front of all these people. I kind of get that bit, but I'm 100% with you. If it's a predetermined outcome, we know she's going to win. Why the big?
Because the bit that she did was part of a TV show of her and all the other girls in the house trying to make it. Now, they're not predetermined until they've gone through a few rounds. So they won't pick the right... We know that person. Now, bear in mind that when they're put there on the when she broke down and she couldn't speak, they're told to go out there. That's a challenge for them to go out there and speak. So that bit isn't... Even though that's... You're on... And, oh, my God, I've got to speak to all these people. I can't do it. I'm getting stage fright. So that bit, the actual winning the whole competition itself... Yeah, they'll have 2 or 3, 4 people that they think they're the ones that are going to make it. But a lot of times they're wrong because they either can't keep up or they haven't got the balls or the want to keep going.
But at the beginning of that show where she went out and...
hold on.
was it
Jax?
Oh, it's all gone pear-shaped.
Oh, it's all right.
We've had knobbly things come off.
We've had a microphone issue.
It's a
Here.
technical dilemma.
Did you squeeze your back on, Steve?
Did you train the dog to walk by and knock my microphone off because if I start getting too boring?
Well, we couldn't teach it to say pineapple. That was a problem.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Kitty. Out the way.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Like
did you
she
never-
still had to go out there and do it and
She
deliver
still had to
her
show
lines.
it, and she still had to...
But she knew when she walked out there that she was going to be winning.
It depends on the right. Not probably at the very start, no, and probably not till the very when you get down to the final 4 or the final 2. They might have gone up to her and said, "Look, you're in for a job." But a lot of the times, the people that win these, because a lot of it is voted by the crowd, and they are actually voted by the crowd. So the crowd might vote someone to win this competition, but that might not be the people that the company wants in, and that person can fail miserably. And it's happened when they've had these things before, where the winners actually. They have a contract for a certain amount of time and they're useless. Yeah. Because they might have got the crowd. I mean, I could stand up and get the crowd to like me for 20 minutes. All of a sudden, you're in front of, you're in Madison Square Garden in front of 20,000 screaming people trying to do what they do, and you can't do it.
That's a different level.
And so, they look at, and there's a majority of people that came 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th that are now actually more popular and actually doing it than the winners. Sure. And it's the same.
But just for that particular evening, forget the whole, starting from being picked, from being no one. That particular evening, would the entire fight, move for move, have been choreographed? Or were they pretty much kind of fighting, but they knew who was going to win in the end?
2 ways to do it. They know, what they have is they have a producer in the back who will sit down. So if you and Russell are fighting, I would be your producer and I'd sit down, right, so you've got to do, this is the spot you've got to hit. So at this time, because it's all TV time. So you got to know what time certain adverts are coming on. So the referee is one of the most important people because they'll be telling the performers, right, you've got 3 minutes or 20 seconds. Yeah. We're going to commercial break. So you'll see them
in the middle of a fight.
In the middle of a fight.
Yeah. Really? So they can't get into a really big thing. They've got to tone it down.
They'll tone it down. They'll come outside. There's certain things they'll do when there's advert breaks on.
Like smack them in the chair and let them recover.
Yeah, they'll go outside. They'll walk around or they'll do something on this. There's different things they do, so they know what. Some people will rehearse the whole fight. So they'll go from the whole, let's say it's a 3-minute fight, they'll rehearse the whole thing. And they'll go through move for move, so they'll know what to do. And a lot of times when you're green, which means you're just starting out, you'll do that. So it's just
every step
it's a dance routine.
Yeah.
So you know where you're going for your dance. And then there's other guys that what they call calling it in the ring. So that'll be you're in the ring and you'll be saying to them, right, I'm going to throw you into ropes now and you're going to do, and I'll go, whatever they say. I don't know what the terms they'll use, but they'll be talking.
There'll be a name for a particular move.
It won't be just one particular move. There'll be a move set.
Yeah.
Like when they're sparring, they'd be saying this is the movement.
And so it's like, right, so I know that if I'm sparring, I'm going to go body, headshot. Yeah. Okay, so that's what you practice, body,
if I shout
headshot.
Pineapple, that's what's coming.
Yeah. So that's what it is. So it is predetermined, but it can be called in the ring. I love it. I think it's from a marketing point of view. I love the way they market. I love the way that they're out there as one of the best marketing companies possibly in the world. Just the way that they can, the merchandise sales alone, the way they get their characters to sell merchandise is ridiculously great. I love the story of it. I love the soap opera of it. I love the drama of it. So for me, it's my soap opera. It's the one thing.
It's a guilty pleasure.
I don't think it's even guilty. I'm very happy to talk about that. I love wrestling.
Is this WWE or
WWE? Yeah, because they had to drop WWF because of the WWF
World Wildlife Fund.
Oh, right. Didn't like them to have it.
Okay,
because
which is fair enough.
It was confusing.
Yeah, I guess so.
If I'm going to go and donate money, and I'd
rather give it to the Rock than a frigging polar bear or a turtle.
Exactly.
Where do you stand on turtles?
On their shells.
Good.
Well,
are you a turtle fan or not?
I can't.
You can't top that.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
Turtles. They're nice. Yeah. They don't really do anyone any harm.
Out of this particular group, Jay is perhaps not the most eco-friendly. I think I'm the most eco-friendly.
I just don't talk about it. I just don't bang on about it and go and hug trees like a lot of people do.
And turtles.
I mean, out of the 3 of us sat here, who composts? Who physically composts? Not you pointing to where your missus has got a compost. Do you go out there and take all your cuttings and put it in?
Yes, thank you.
Do you compost? No. So Steve's economic's wrong word, isn't it? Unenvironmental.
Yeah.
And he's got a plastic bottle.
I'm assuming.
No, he hasn't.
No, I don't. I've got a plastic Haribo packet.
I got to tell you I did the old fisting. I fisted a load of people.
I was just going to come on to that a little bit later, but yes. All right, so tell us about your fisting experience.
I fisted over 130 people at the what's it called, the fist event.
And did you wash your hands afterwards?
I did. Apparently, I was close to. Someone said I was a bit close to the mark. I'm like, well, I didn't call it fist, so it's not.
You can't take it any further than that. It's already gone. You can only bring it back.
I swore. I said shit once, which apparently I got away with that. But I was the first person I was about to fist. I should explain what this is, isn't it? So basically, FIST is the Phuket Hotel Hospitality
Industry, Tourism, Sustainability.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. So they asked me and Russell to go and be a warm-up act for them to get the crowd going. So they had 1,000 people in this room, and they wanted us to go and warm the crowd up. And the idea was they wanted us to try to break the world record for fist bumping as many people in 1 minute. And the record was 123. Really? So, yeah, that's all it was. So I asked Russell to help, but Russell apparently has got dogs to look after, and the dogs can't stay at home by themselves. So he had to stay here with doggies. Yeah.
Phuket. Ooh, hello.
Oh, you looked it up?
Phuket hotels for islands sustaining tourism.
There you go. Fisting. So they asked me to go and do it. So Russell couldn't do it. So I ended up doing it myself. So I had to get this room. There was probably 800 people in the room at the time, maybe a bit less. But anyway, my job was to get them all up. So they were cold. They just come in. They were completely cold. And my job was to get them up and try to then fist them all. That joke came out a few times, yeah. And I mean, it was mental. It was mad. But do you know what? It's like herding cats. Because I had a plan of, because I had to have 124 people, but I had to have it in a nice row so I could fist them all. And to try to get people to move, just the blank faces were just ridiculous. I mean, but then you've got GMs there, you've got real kind of environmental type people that aren't obviously probably the most upbeat, rah. And there's some idiot stood on stage.
But prior to the event, did these people know that this was going to happen?
I'm not sure. No, I
don't think they probably did.
No, they didn't know it was going to happen. And all of a sudden, Mr. Motivator here jumps on stage doing stretching and stuff and saying, "Come on, guys, let's do some stretching." And they're like, "What's he on about?" Oh, no. And then we did it. Anyway, I did the fisting. It was chaotic as you like because no one got in the right position. But I fisted about 130 odd people, jumped on the stage, cheered, and then realised that my camera wasn't working. So yeah, it's all a bit of a...
Is that why? So it's not been recognised as a record?
No, it won't be. It's too chaotic. I mean, because it was supposed to be to break the Guinness Book of World Records, and to do it, you have to... The amount of evidence that you have... I mean, Russell knows because we went through it with the three-legged walk. The amount of evidence you have to submit to get the record is ridiculous.
And the money you have to spend.
Yeah, it's crazy money. I mean, if we wanted someone to come out to watch you and I now break a world record...
Norris.
Yeah, to get Norris out to break the world record, or the other one who's who's the other dude? Peter. Oh no,
the trombonist.
Trumpet player.
Trumpet player.
Roy Castle.
Yeah, lovely.
So if we wanted Roy Castle to come out here, I once got punched in the face by it in playing football because I called someone Roy Castle. Because Roy Castle just died, and I turned around to this guy, and I was linesman at the time, and I shouted out to this guy, "You're going to be dead soon like Roy Castle, or you look like Roy Castle and you're going to be dead soon." He then ran up to me and punched me in the face. So anyway, I don't know where I was. I'd lost my train of thought. Back to fisting.
No, about the amount of money.
It costs to...
£10,000 to get Roy Castle to come out here and to say, yes, you can have the world record.
But otherwise you
No, excuse me. Oh. It's not. It's £10,000 for the process of it, plus the cost of getting the person out here to do it, plus the cost of putting them up whilst they're here. So the £10,000 is just for Guinness for you to be aligned with Guinness that this is a Guinness sanctioned event. And I was watching something on the BBC, actually, I think I told you about this not long ago. And back in the day, did you guys have the Guinness World Record books? I mean, it used to be like a Christmas present every other year sort of thing, the latest sort of records and what have you. Yeah, which was kind of cool to see what's been done. But nowadays, it's all big corporations. So
it's a marketing.
And it's all about that. I mean, it was the John Oliver show. Did you watch John Oliver?
I know what you mean.
Yeah. He's a British guy. No, he's a British guy, but he does a late night talk show in the States. He's fantastic. And he did a big show on it. And it was the president of something like Uzbekistan or somewhere like that, who himself has the record for like the most records for the country or something. It is insane. But it's just about the PR, the marketing, and I had the record for the highest number of horse hairs that I have in my room or something ridiculous like that.
How many have you got horse hairs in your room?
But they will pay £10,000 a time or more, because it's a minimum of £10,000 plus.
Why? I don't understand the horse hair.
Neither do I.
Oh.
But actually, this particular sect that John Oliver did on this guy, it's not Uzbekistan, it's somewhere like that. This guy's really into horses, Was he fisting horses? Because I don't know if they can do it. I'll tell you what.
Their hooves, I can't know if they get the hoof up that way.
How many horse hairs has he got in his room?
I don't know. honestly.
I know, but they have to be attached to, or they just... You just brush the hairs and put them in. And is it the hairs from the... Or is it...
Well, there's a limit on the size of the room.
Yeah.
There might be a limit.
Could it be a stable?
And it might actually also be a certain length of hair as well. So like if it's a stubbly hair, it doesn't count, whereas a long mane hair might. I don't know. I didn't follow it.
Well, that's the thing. Is it tail... Does tail hair count
You're asking
more?
the wrong person here.
Well, you brought it up.
I know, but you need to ask the president of Uzbekistan or other countries are available and probably more correct.
Okay. So back to the...
But that was the point.
They're not.
The point was, it's super expensive, but nobody really cares about how many times can I hit a ping pong ball against the wall standing on one leg. It's
no, you're right. No one does care.
Yeah, but that's what it used to be in the Guinness Book of World
Records.
No,
so you can get a world record for anything now, can't
absolutely,
you?
You name
how many Maltesers can you put in your mouth? How many baked beans can you put in your mouth? How many... No, that's it, I think.
Is
that the only two?
Yeah.
I think that's the only two records we can do.
How many cola bottles can we get through during a podcast?
Well, yeah, but you've wanted to break a world... So going back to...
So hold on, did you break the world record? It's just that it wasn't documented.
Technically, yes, I broke the world record.
By how many?
Oh, I God knows how many, but more than enough, because I knew that it was only... Because originally I thought it was going to be actually quite difficult. And someone said, have you done any training? I'm like, yeah, of course I have. What do you train for? Exactly. I put the Jordans on, put my red shorts on. That was it. That's all I needed to do. That's good enough. But I did say to get the official record, we're going to have to line. You're going to have to line people up. You're going to have it recorded properly. That's the only way we're going to get it. And I did speak to them yesterday about it, and I said, look, that's what we need to do. We need to get everyone lined up. Let's do it properly. We can have the drone over watching, because the evidence you have to put in there, they had to have one still camera overlooking the whole lot, one slow motion camera showing each different fist and stuff.
Couldn't you not just do it and speed up the video? Like a Benny Hill style.
Well, put Benny Hill music over the top of it. And then just slapping some... You could be the bald head guy that I slap, as you understand. It's a big Benny Hill reference. For anyone who hasn't seen Benny Hill, there's a little bald guy that they slap his head. And girls in bikinis. There's a lot of girls in bikinis.
Running away.
Can you imagine the Benny Hill show today?
They wouldn't get through, would it?
No. Well, to be fair, there's a lot of shows that wouldn't get through today.
So we better get back to Steve, because we've done that.
Oh, please, yeah.
We've done half an hour already. You're a very good guest.
Pineapple.
I've got some in the fridge, if you like.
I like a pineapple.
I'm quite partial to pineapple.
I don't like peeling the pineapple, because I take the end off and you got those little bits.
Do you like pineapple fried rice?
Yes. I like pineapple on pizza as well.
I was just going to say, pineapple fried rice is a bit like pineapple on pizza, isn't it?
You're not a fan?
I don't dislike it. It's just it wouldn't be my first choice.
What's your first choice fried rice then?
Ooh.
God, now you're asking.
So now there might be a bit of editing here, because I need to kind of think about this.
Well, you
properly.
think, and we'll talk. I mean, how long does it take you to think?
I like a kind of green curry. You know, when they make fried rice with the curry sauce in there.
Oh, that's so very fusion-esque.
Yeah, maybe a green curry seafood fried rice.
Jesus.
I wouldn't have gone for the seafood bit, but the other bit sounds quite nice. I don't think I've done that before. It's either green curry or fried rice. I've not done the...
Kapak Genki Awan.
Excuse me?
Kapak Genki Awan.
Yeah, I got that.
You speak Thai actually very well, don't you?
I'm not going to be speaking any more Thai while I'm being recorded, I can assure you of that. Sapalot!
Oh, well.
Good.
Oh, well.
So, Jay, you've been here how long in Phuket?
I know where this is going, and you can fuck right off.
A long time.
12 years. 2007, okay?
About the same.
Yeah, 2005. And collectively, we could probably order dinner.
No, I think actually, although you won't speak to... I
can read and write.
Yeah, we can't disprove that, can we?
No, I actually can.
I meant
can
Thai.
You really?
Yeah.
Thai?
A bit. I'm not brilliant, but yeah.
To be fair,
when I order food and you got a little pad and I always write it down.
I've gone for lunch with Steve and he does write his food out in time, which is very impressive.
So I can't read the newspaper or anything, but it's not very easy.
Why are you taking the order for yourself? Surely that's what the waitress is there for. Why are you writing it down?
You go into little Thai places like the 50-baht places. They sometimes just give you a pad.
Oh, I don't frequent them, darling.
They see me. They see I'm a local and hand me the pad.
I did notice your rusty bike out the front. It is very rusty, isn't it?
Have you seen your car?
Yeah, okay, it's a fair point. Actually, Steve's tie is very good. I think your tie is very good as well.
No.
It's better than mine, and I'm the one that has I'm the one who had a Thai wife and 2 half-Thai kids, and I can barely speak any Thai.
Out of all of us, if there's anyone that probably should actually speak a bit more Thai, it should be you.
Yeah, it should be me.
Because pillow talk is apparently the best way to learn Thai.
Really?
We should all be speaking more Thai.
Get off.
Yeah.
Get out.
Saparot.
Saparot.
It's not. Well, I think English is probably a harder language to learn. Obviously, if it's not your first language, not like yourself, Jay. But yes, Thai is incredibly difficult for most people to learn.
Is Chinese harder?
Or
is it similar? I don't know. I don't speak Chinese.
I used to speak a bit of Cantonese when I lived in Hong Kong, but I can't remember it now.
I was going to say
I could probably still swear.
Joke.
I could probably still swear in Chinese if I really thought about it in Cantonese.
No, don't, because I won't know if you're swearing or not, so I don't know if I need to put a moo sound over the top.
Well, there is that too. But
your views on Chinese and Thai, or
don't know.
Oh,
never tried it.
Steve, come on, give us more. Give us more. What's your favourite language? Oh, that's a good. What is
English.
your favourite? But from an accent point of view, if you had 3 people, boys or girls, which accent is the most attractive?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Nottingham accent number 1.
Where are you from, Steve? Are you from Nottingham originally?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Nottingham being your favourite, least favourite?
Derby.
Right, okay.
You're very specific.
No, fair enough. I mean, there is quite a range of accents.
Is that
within the
because
UK,
you're
to
from
be
Nottingham,
fair.
you just hate Derby? That's all it stems from.
It was just the most amusing thing I could think of saying.
Why is there an issue between Forest and Derby, or Nottingham and Derby?
It's just they're neighbours, aren't they?
That's all it is?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
And is that the thing we're supposed to hate our neighbours? Is that the...
All.
I understand the Liverpool-Manchester divide and the hatred that stems from
Why?
that.
Don't all neighbouring football teams hate each other?
Not necessarily.
Oh, I thought they did.
There is a rivalry between
Like England
local
and
clubs.
France. England and everyone...
Or
of our
England and
neighbours.
Argentina.
England and everyone else.
But yeah, we hate...
End of.
There's other people we go to war with as well that aren't our neighbours, but specifically our neighbours we hate. Don't
Our
we?
biggest
I
rivals.
don't hate them, just everyone hates us.
No, I guess so, because Scotland, I guess.
Sure.
Wales
haters.
Ireland
Scotland
aren't so
haters.
bad because there's a gap
The
between
Irish
us.
fucking haters.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they don't. What? But they.
got good- they've
But
got
why do
quite
they
good
hate
reach.
me? I've not done anything wrong. I actually do like Irish accent. I think ladies with Irish accents are actually quite attractive. I find that very nice.
It's very different north and south.
I guess I should say Texas. What else? No,
Well, it was your question.
no, I know. Well, I wasn't expecting to answer it. What do you think then?
So, I've obviously got to say Scottish for fairly obvious reasons, I would suggest, as a favourite. And actually, I don't mind a Scottish accent, and it does depend, but it's like a Glaswegian
I
one,
was going to
probably
say,
not.
I mean, if M came back and was like, Russell,
Pineapple.
yeah.
Yeah.
So M doesn't sound like that, though, does she?
Thankfully, she doesn't sound like
She
that.
doesn't sound Scottish, though.
No,
No, I wouldn't have said she's Scottish either.
and she keeps saying from Inverness, where she's from, it's like the one place in Scotland where it is actually quite a softer, easier, more English-based accent than anywhere else in the country, which is true because whenever you go around Scotland, you have that sort of more that stronger inflection, if you like, at the.
So now you're saying that Scottish is your favourite accent, but Emily doesn't have a Scottish accent.
She turns it on when she needs to. Or I think.
Steve's a bit too smart to have on our podcast.
Yeah, I know. I've just noticed that as
Have
well.
you?
Yeah,
'Cause we can't get anything around him. He's too intelligent.
Yeah.
He's, in fact, I was going to say the most intelligent guest we have, but I think Anna was actually pretty intelligent last week as well.
I think
Because she also...
any guest we have is going to be smarter than the likes of us,
That's true.
which is fair enough, to be fair.
We're going to have to start wrapping it up, I'm afraid.
It's a shame.
It is a shame. We could go on for longer, but I'm not sure old Colonel's going to want it longer. So, Colonel, any top tips for... What, are you happy to be on what? Top tips about life, Steve. Give us some top tips. Give us your top 10 tips.
Top 17 tips for life.
Give us one top tip for life, Steve.
A top
Eat
tip
more
for
cola
life.
bottles.
Do something nice for somebody every day. Make somebody smile every day.
And
how
on that
about that?
Steveism...
And
I
that's
think we should
Steveism,
finish.
and that's like bringing cola bottles.
Yeah, thank you for the cola
Thank you for
bottles.
the cola bottles.
That was my tip.
And thank you for coming.
That was my thing today.
Yeah, thank you. And sorry you didn't have a story about Geoff Capes.
That's all right. Thank you for making me feel comfortable.
But there's still time to meet Geoff Capes. You never know.
Is Geoff Capes still alive?
Well, in that case,
We're all looking around. I don't
in
know
that
if
case,
he is,
it might be too late to meet Geoff Capes then.
Colonel, thank you very much for being on our podcast.
Thank you, Colonel.
Thank you.
You can stop sweating now.
Russell, thank you.
Cheers, buddy.
See you later. Bye.
Will do. Bye.
Bye.